Russia's status. Peace is a condition for return. From the very beginning of Sebastian Coe's presidency of World Athletics in 2015, it was clear that his approach to Russia would not be merely administrative or diplomatic. It was a principled decision rooted in the core values that should guide global sport. While the initial conflict with Russia centered around a massive doping scandal, the country's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 marked a turning point, making it impossible to separate politics from sport. From doping scandals to major sanctions. When Coe assumed his role, he inherited one of the largest systemic doping crises in sporting history. Investigations revealed a state-sponsored program in Russia to conceal doping violations, resulting in more than 140 positive tests in a short span of time. Trust between international sports authorities and Russia collapsed, prompting Coe to make an unprecedented decision, suspending Russia's membership in World Athletics. Although Moscow later began working to address these violations, establishing new monitoring systems and cooperating with independent bodies, there were signs that a gradual reinstatement might be possible, especially after the creation of the Athletics Integrity Unit. But the political landscape shifted dramatically with the war in Ukraine. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, beyond sport. Following the invasion of Ukraine, World Athletics, under Coe's leadership, moved swiftly and decisively. Within days, Russia and Belarus were suspended from all World Athletics events. The rationale extended beyond politics. As Coe put it, this was an attack on the very values of sport: peace, respect, and fairness. In an interview with Times Radio, Coe was unequivocal. Our position was clear from the start. Russia cannot return to the global athletics family unless a stable and lasting peace agreement is reached. This is not a technical matter. It's a core principle. He added, sport doesn't operate in a vacuum. When one country invades another, allowing the aggressor to return unconditionally is a betrayal of fairness and justice. This stance stands in contrast to some other sports bodies that have allowed Russian athletes to compete under neutral flags. For World Athletics, there is no ambiguity. The sole condition, a true peace agreement. Despite the tough stance, Coe did not completely shut the door. He left a narrow window open for the future, stating that reinstatement was possible, but only under one non-negotiable condition: a sustainable and genuine peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. If peace talks lead to a real and lasting agreement with verified stability, then and only then can we consider Russia's return to international competition, Coe explained. Until that happens, the situation remains unchanged. This condition, he emphasized, is not about punishment, but about upholding universal ethical standards. Just as governments and businesses impose sweeping sanctions on Russia, the world of sport must uphold its own integrity. Ethics over technicalities. Coe firmly rejects the idea that sport can remain neutral in the face of political violence. In his view, sporting integrity includes not only anti-doping compliance or performance metrics, but also moral responsibility. To claim that sport is neutral in the face of aggression or major violations of international law is to be complicit by silence. We cannot be a platform for tolerance when faced with blatant injustice. He emphasized that World Athletics does not base its decisions on whataboutism or comparisons between conflicts, but on principled case-by-case judgment. He noted that the global response to Russia, across business, culture, and politics, was more unified and forceful than for most other international disputes. Leading by example. Notably, Coe's position has set a precedent. His leadership has been recognized as a model by other international sports bodies. Kirsty Coventry, the new president of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, publicly praised World Athletics for its clarity and integrity. She invited Coe and his team to join an international task force working on clear eligibility standards for athletes in the face of political and ethical crises. A policy of firm values, not empty gestures. Sebastian Coe's approach to Russia reflects a broader philosophy on sport's place in society. He believes sport is not a sanctuary from reality, but rather a tool that reflects and enforces global values. If we don't stand by our principles during hard times, when will we? This single statement summarizes Coe's stance as he leads one of the world's most prominent sports federations. As the war continues and the geopolitical situation evolves, World Athletics shows no signs of backtracking. For Russia to return to the global athletic stage, it must first return to the path of peace.